Hey everyone, and welcome right into this explainer. If you've ever wondered exactly how the law balances factory productivity with, well, actual human well-being, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're taking a magnifying glass to Chapter 6 of the Factory Act of 1948. We're going to take those dense legal statutes and turn them into a crystal clear guide on the absolute boundaries of adult labor. We'll specifically be unpacking sections 51 through 60, looking at the strict rules governing time, rest, and compensation. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We've got 5 clear themes. We'll cover daily and weekly limits, holidays and compensatory time, rest intervals and spread over, shift rules and double work, and finally, the rules of overtime. Let's get right into it. Section 1, daily and weekly limits, setting the foundation. We're kicking things off with the absolute bedrock of factory labor law, and it all revolves around the number 48. Under Section 51, the statute is crystal clear. No adult worker can be required or even allowed to work in a factory for more than 48 hours in any single week. It establishes an absolute ceiling. This isn't just a gentle suggestion. It's a hard, legal limit literally designed to protect the health and vitality of the workforce. But wait, you can't just cram those 48 hours into a couple of brutal back-to-back shifts. Section 54 caps the daily grind at exactly 9 hours. So even if you are way under your weekly limit, you absolutely cannot be forced into a 14-hour marathon day. Now, there is a tiny caveat here. This daily maximum can be exceeded strictly to facilitate a shift change, but, and this is a big but, only with the prior explicit approval of the chief inspector. Section 2, holidays and compensatory time, securing your rest. So now that we know the maximum hours you can work, how does the law actively protect your right to actually rest? Well, Section 52 mandates a weekly holiday, which usually falls on the first day of the week. But more importantly, it enforces a really strict rule. Absolutely no one works more than 10 consecutive days without a full, uninterrupted 24-hour break. Think about that. You can swap days around if needed, sure, but continuous, exhausting stretches of labor, completely prohibited. So what happens if management absolutely needs you on a Sunday? Well, they can't just snap their fingers. They have to follow these specific procedural steps before the shift even starts. Step 1, they must legally substitute the holiday with one of the 3 days immediately before or after. Step 2, they must deliver a formal notice to the inspector's office. And Step 3, they have to physically display that notice right there in the factory. It's highly regulated to ensure transparency and prevent abuse. But what if you actually lose a day off because of some special exemption? Under Section 53, the factory literally owes you. You are owed a compensatory holiday of an equal number of days. And they can't just push it off forever. The timeline is super strict. These make-up days have to be given within that very same month, or at the absolute latest, within the 2 months immediately following. That debt of rest has to be paid. Moving on to Section 3, rest intervals and spread over. Pacing the workday. Let's look at the daily schedule itself. Section 55 is a real game changer because it physically breaks up the working day. It dictates that no adult can be at their station for more than 5 hours continuously. Before you hit that 5-hour mark, you must, by law, get a rest interval of at least half an hour to sit down, eat, and recharge. The state government can make some rare exemptions up to 6 hours, but the core principle stands. Unbroken labor is legally capped. Now, this part is really fascinating. Section 56 clearly separates your actual work time from what they call your spread overtime. Let's say you're only working 9 hours, but how long are you actually tied to the factory when you factor in those breaks? The law caps this total spread over at 10.5 hours in any single day. Basically, a factory can't give you a 5-hour unpaid break in the middle of the day just to keep you on call late into the evening. Your personal time is totally protected here. Section 4, shift rules and double work, navigating complex schedules. Okay, let's talk logistics. Imagine your shift goes past midnight. Does your Tuesday suddenly become Wednesday halfway through your work? Section 57 solves this perfectly. It legally defines your tomorrow as beginning only when your shift actually ends. Those post-midnight hours seamlessly count toward the previous day. It's a clever fix that keeps all those daily hour limits and holiday calculations we just talked about perfectly intact and logical. And to prevent total chaos on the factory floor, the law throws down 2 major rules here. Section 58 bans overlapping shifts. You can't have multiple groups doing the exact same work scheduled at the same time. It just creates a messy, unregulated environment. And Section 60? It outright bans double employment. No adult can work in two different factories on the exact same day. It protects workers from total exhaustion and keeps factories safe from liability. Finally, Section 5, the rules of overtime. Compensating extra effort. This is the climax of our explainer. Section 59 dictates exactly what happens when you push beyond those baseline limits. If you work more than 9 hours a day or more than 48 hours a week, you've officially hit overtime. And the payout? It is substantial. By law, you're entitled to wages at exactly twice your ordinary rate. Yep, you heard that right. Not time and a half, double time. But we have to ask, what exactly is that baseline? To calculate that double pay, the Act strictly defines your ordinary rate of wages. This includes your basic wages plus everyday allowances, like the cash equivalent of food grain concessions. But, and this is crucial, it specifically excludes any bonuses or previous overtime pay. This makes absolutely sure that the 2x multiplier is applied to your true base rate. It keeps the math fair and legally sound. Speaking of those food grain concessions, the way they calculate their cash value is incredibly specific. For a standard family, the law breaks it down into fractions based on age and gender. A male over 14 counts as 1 full unit, a female over 14 is 0.8 units, and a child under 14 is 0.6 units. It really gives you a glimpse into how deeply the 1948 statute tried to codify the everyday economics of a worker's household. Wow, we have covered a tremendous amount of ground here today, from that strict 48-hour weekly cap to the exact math behind double overtime. As we wrap up this explainer, take a second to reflect on these 10 sections of Chapter 6. Whether you're managing a team or out there working the floor yourself, ask yourself, do the working hours, the mandatory breaks, the spread overtime, and the overtime calculations in your own environment actually align with these statutory rights? Knowing the law is the very first step to ensuring it's upheld. Thanks so much for joining me today. Keep learning, keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you next time.